Hello and welcome to What I Saw in the Wild. I'm your host Mark Dixon with another episode of Nature Talks. The marine environment and its protection is something that I'm particularly passionate about. So in honor of International Oceans Day on the 8th of June, I'd like to focus on something that every South African can do to protect the ocean. Each year, myriads of leatherback and loggerhead turtles hatch on the Natal coast and they get caught up in the Agulhas current and drift southwards towards the Cape. Between March and August each year, a lot of these little turtle hatchlings wash up and get stranded on the southern Cape coast. In March this year, we were fortunate enough to have the Two Oceans Turtle Rescue Team stop on a roadshow in Sedgefield. So for this episode of Nature Talks, let's join Talitha and Inga at Swartvlei Beach and find out how to rescue stranded turtles.
Aware of is it's not always going to be on a beautiful, easy to see strip of beach. So it could very well be in the rocky areas, in rock pools, on the high tide mark, all sorts of places where you might actually have to look under things. You might not recognize them because they might be covered in algae. So it's something that you might have to actually intentionally be looking out for. And when you pick a turtle up, it might also look quite dead. It might look a lot like turtle biltong. But still pick it up because it might be alive. And if in doubt, rather take it to their network point. So this is our much bigger, much fluffier, more crocheted hatchling. And when we pick it up, we always tell kids especially to keep it out of the direct sun and wind because that just adds to the stress. And to put it in a tub, a dry tub. Now keeping the animal dry is really important because they have cold shock. And as reptiles, they need to be climatized very slowly to the new temperature. So by putting them into either very cold, very warm water or environment, you could actually sort of create a different type of shock, which is very negative. And having the towel dry is also good for them because it just keeps the temperature more stable. So we tell kids, put them in there, keep them sort of safe, air holes because they're reptiles, breathe air. And then take a tub like this to your network point. They'll be in contact with Tracy and we'll be able to get a lift for the turtle really quickly.
Good afternoon everyone, I hope you can all hear me. But Mark's kind of already done a great job talking to you about where these little turtles come from. But I've just got a little bit of an infographic to show you guys. But basically every year, from the start of summer, we get female loggerhead and leatherback turtles that lay their eggs on the KwaZulu-Natal coastline up there. Very professional. And then from about January to March, the eggs hatch and they go out to sea and they catch the warm Agulhas current that flows down the coastline. And then when they come to the south coast, this current slows down and the hatchlings get spat out of this current. And you guys will probably know the Agulhas is a very warm current and our water is pretty cold. So they develop hypothermia. They are often very injured because they've been attacked by birds and other animals and from being bashed around on rocks. And then they are just weak, so they're dehydrated, they haven't eaten. And so all of these things cause them to wash up on our beaches, especially when there's strong onshore winds and storms. So those are the times when you guys have to be especially alert after strong onshore wind and storms. So you have to keep your eyes peeled. But from March to about August, you'll start seeing these little hatchlings washing up on our coastline.
We work really hard once they get to the aquarium to give them the best rehabilitation we can. But obviously we can only offer that to the ones that are able to come to us. And we don't have the manpower to sort of be looking at these beaches all the time. And so it became very apparent that we needed a network. We needed the partnership of all these amazing organizations along the coast, and hopefully that if we all work together, we can help to rescue and rehabilitate and ultimately release more turtles. And so we established 10 network points between Cape Town and Plettenberg Bay, and when you can come have a look at our poster, we've got some to hand out to some of the organizations as well. But basically here in the most sort of in wilderness and niceness, the sandpark officers. So at Ebb and Flow and Thiesen Island, we have really good relationships with Owen Govender and with Jonathan Britton and the sandparks teams. And yeah, when people find the turtles, they can take them to those network points. And then Tracy, who's going to wave, is our head communicator. She's the wonderful turtle mom who organizes lifts for every little hatchling that needs one, which is really amazing. And we've been able to establish a transport network that's really quite exciting. We have organizations, conservation organizations that are part of that. We also have truck driving companies that travel along the N2 and wine farms and people who aren't in any way conservation related but who are often traveling and who are very willing to help rescue little turtles and move them along. So it's kind of like our own little paramedic team service that we have for these little turtles.
Thank you to Inga and Talitha for such interesting information, and a huge shout out to the Two Oceans Aquarium in Cape Town for their turtle rescue program and all the educational marine work that they do.